You are now listening to Testimonies with Terry.
Hey TWT listeners, this has been Weeres. I am just jumping on here to respond to some questions that came in, #AskTWT. After my recent testimony aired, I just want to give a shout out to Terry. Just appreciate you for having me on. You have an awesome podcast. I'm just blessed to be able to support it and to be on it, and I'm hoping that people tune in and that it makes an impact in other people's lives. But like I said, I'm just jumping on here to respond to some questions and answer some questions that came in after my testimony aired. So without further ado, I'll jump right in. Here's the first question I got was, how did my children impact my life and road to sobriety? So all my children had a major impact on my life. And as I kind of mentioned in the podcast, each one had their own challenges during the birthing process. Like our son, our first child, Brecken, he had a 2-vessel cord, and there's some other somewhat minor complications during the process. But and then Mason, our most recent son, was an angular pregnancy for a short stint during the pregnancy and stuff like that. So I say that because those periods were high stress periods, and as I kind of mentioned too, we didn't have the kids right away. So those periods of my life had a major impact on my life and who I have become on the other side of it. But also my kids are a huge reason why I continue to stay sober and fight to stay sober and wake up every day, to be honest. It's been a life-changing experience, and one that I would never, there's nothing on this earth that I wouldn't give to have my kids. So blessed in that realm. Next question was, other than God at the center, what helped me and Alyssa overcome all the struggles that we've been throughout our relationship? I would say just communication, I think, has been, from what I've learned, the most important thing that's helped us get through things. So just being honest about challenges that we're having individually, talking through challenges we're having as a couple, coming up with game plan on how we're going to address challenges when they do come, talking about where we want to be in 10 years and getting aligned on that, and all those kind of things. So I think, again, I haven't always done a great job at this. Actually, in fact, I've done a terrible job, and I'm still learning on that. But I think it's probably one of the most important things you can do to build a strong relationship outside of placing God at the center of it. Next question is, I had mentioned during the podcast that my brother had kind of introduced me to substances and drinking and smoking and stuff like that, and the person asked if he was sober and if I have to set some boundaries with him to maintain my sobriety, and the answer is no and yes. So no, he is not sober. He's his own man, he's his own person, and he can live his life however he decides to. I don't want to get into my perspective on my brother. I love him to death, and we have a really great relationship, so I'll just leave it at that. But as far as setting boundaries, I think I have to do that with him for sure, and with everybody in my life, especially people that maybe enabled me a little bit while I was drinking and smoking and things like that. So yeah, I mean, to change your life that dramatically and to, take drinking or, alcohol or drugs or whatever it is out of your life typically requires a significant amount of boundary setting with people in your life, or even just removing some people from your life. And I've had to do both of those things, and it's really, really hard. And it's, you know, it's a lifelong journey and something you got to constantly balance, but it's an important element of living sober. Next question was how I got into business, or what got me interested in business, and then also kind of what's my favorite part about owning a marketing agency. So I've always been very interested in the entrepreneurial world. You know, even growing up, you know, the cliche kind of lemonade stands and, you know, finding things, dusting things off out of the garage, or finding some old stuff to polish up and, you know, sell at a garage sale or something to make some money. So I've always just kind of had that desire and itch to, you know, with that entrepreneurial spirit, and just kind of clunked my way through college and my early adulthood, obviously trying to figure out what I really wanted to do and what industries I wanted to get into. But always was definitely passionate about just the strategic nature of business and kind of the, you know, the overarching strategy and how to run a business and running a business and all that kind of stuff. So it's always been a desire of mine, an interest of mine. But I guess my favorite part about owning a business is, it's kind of the hardest part probably, and my favorite part in that it's very challenging and it's pushing me is, you know, you're the only one holding you accountable, right? So if you want results, or if things aren't going well, or if they are going well, there's really one person to look at generally. I mean, for me, I do have a number of people that support me, and I could not do it without the people that do. And I think that's generally the case in a lot of businesses. But I do like the fact that, you know, I get to, you know, everything stops with me. So a lot of responsibility comes along with that, but also a lot of benefits internally that can come along with that if things go well. So yeah, those are kind of the main ones that we got, and just wanted to answer them, and thank again Terry for having me on, and I appreciate everybody that took the time to listen and let me tell my story, and God bless you all, and I appreciate it. Have a great day.